Absolutely. Yeah. You should have had none. This is showing me the menu that has came since I moved. Did you get that?
You're looking at sound, you got video on. Yeah. Oh, this game today. Okay, we will begin the Lynnville Town Council meeting for April 21st, 2026. Let me remind everyone that this meeting is broadcast on YouTube and has recorded minutes. So let's please not talk over each other. Austin, for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you all. Brian Cook, Clint Denton, Michael May, Chris Swisher or Michael Longberg. Here. Lori Stokas. Here. Rachel Titzer. Present. Peter Horn. Present. And Dave Goldenberg. Present. We do have forum. This meeting is officially called to order at 6:17. With the approval of minutes, have you all had a chance to read the minutes of April 7th, 2026?
I'll make the motion to approve the minutes of April 7th, 2026.
I'll second that motion.
Motion's been made second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Approval of current bills, April 8th, 2026 through April 21st, 2026.
I'll make a motion to approve the current bills from April the 8th, 2026 through April the 21st of 2026.
I'll second that.
Motion's been made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Passes. We need a treasury report generating general operating $42,105.89. MVH $79,528.03. Lit $108,690.96. Public safety $162,853.91. Public improvements project $48,207.64. 1882,926.70. Community center $10,236.18. Fire department $267,671.60. Park $85,313.52. Utilities operating is upside down by $7,068.72. Opioid settlement $3,629.20. The note saying utility operating fund is in the negative due to not having a chance to recover yet since the rate increase. We've had unexpected purchases of emergency equipment repairs that have had to be done. I think we discussed that last time.
Yes.
There's a budget status report in your binder. On the 2026 project funding report, along with a Main Street project report, which nothing's changed now. And have you gotten, we're still trying to get into the Lynnville Park profit and loss reports. Have you gotten access to that yet? Still no access there. And we're working on that. In the Lynnville Park general ledger reports, we're moving things from one company back to the town. Any questions we need to discuss on any of that? Okay. Clint,
Yes.
you're up, buddy. Walk up to the podium.
I've only got,
State your name.
I'm Clint Denton, I'm Newtown Marshall. I've only got 2 items really. The 2 individuals looking for long stay at the park. I see no issue with that. Second is 301 Peachtree. He has complied with the camper request that I had with the conversation that I had with him a couple weeks ago. He has given me a tentative plan on where he's going to put his driveway, and he was actively cleaning things up, weeds and brush and things like that nature when I pulled up to talk to him. So far, he's complied with those, but the question is, we still have mattresses on the property, and since I had no way to contact him, I recommend we send him a certified letter requesting that he move those also, but thanking him for moving the camper. You know, I feel if we're a little compliant with him, I feel he'll do the right thing. So that's my suggestion. That's all.
What did you say about the walk?
2 long-term stay people that they've applied. I see no issue with that.
We will have them later on to approve. Okay.
That's all I got.
Anything else?
Nope.
Nope. Thank you.
Thank you.
You can sneak out if you need to.
Appreciate it.
Mike's not doing Brian, there's a PO report, the work report in here, and a report showing what they purchased. If anybody has questions on that, we can bring forward and I'll get hold of Brian, get clarification if we need to. Hearing nothing, we're going to do residential business, cancellation of the lease at 107.
Lynnville Park. Skipped over.
Yeah, do that again.
Do you have something?
No, I don't.
Oh, he doesn't have anything.
Lynnville Park.
He's here.
Yeah.
He snuck in while you were reading.
Well, it's right there. It's all tied in. I just read it. 107 Violet Lane. Cancellation of lease.
Yes. And Jamie Lee and Greg Quackenbush. I no longer live there, so I'm taking my name off of everything at the property and back into his name as it was originally. I think we've already settled everything, signed everything.
All the paperwork is signed.
I have all the insurance and everything too in the back of my name if y'all need to see that.
Or take a copy of that, yeah,
Yes,
it's updated.
Good meeting.
I make a motion to approve the cancellation of the lease at lot 48, 107 Violet Lane, Lynnville, Indiana, 47619.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes.
I make a motion to allow for the cancellation of lease at lot 49, address 106 Redbud Lane, Lynnville, Indiana, 47619.
And I'll second that.
Again, motion been made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you.
Transfer.
Yeah, I make a motion to approve the lease transfer for lot number 48, located at 107 Violet Lane, Lynnville, Indiana, 47619, to Gregory S. Quackenbush.
I'll second that motion.
Motion been made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes.
And I make a motion to approve Lynnville Park lease transfer to lot on lot number 49, 106 Red Bud Lane, Lynnville, Indiana, 47619 to prefer it.
I'll second that motion.
Yeah, motion been made, seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Passes. Congratulations.
Feel better.
Okay. We got, approval to have some dead trees removed, 15 Violet, lot number 47. You guys can read that, I can't.
Those are in that shape.
But, you can go and look at them.
Thanks. I'll make a motion to approve of having the dead trees removed at 210 Violet Lane, block number 47.
I'll second that motion.
Motion made and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Approved. We had 2 extended stay requests. The information's in front of you. I think you got that. You can give that.
Yes, sir.
And everything's been looked at on, they appear to be okay. Marshall's given his blessing. So if you don't see anything and you want to approve it, then I will. Once you feel comfortable, I would accept the motion.
How long did it say? Were they finished?
For 30 days.
Okay.
30 days renewal.
Okay.
So,
I'm fine with
Okay, we need a motion to accept the,
make a motion to approve, any guy for a, long-term lease application extended stay.
I'll second that motion.
motion been made and seconded for the stay request, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
And I make a motion to approve the long-term application for extended stay for Elmer Bridgewater.
And I will second that one.
Motion been made and seconded, all in favor? Aye. Passes. I asked Aaron to attend tonight, but he had a conflict. He did submit. It's in your folder if you want to read it, and if you have questions, send them to me and I'll ask you to try to get the answers for you. These are bringing us up to date on where they are with the wastewater improvement project, the trail lighting project, capital improvement plans, Spurgeon connection, the GIS mapping, the lift stations design and troubleshooting in Meade County. On the table, something about new development at the park. I don't think you can push that to him yet. There's some items coming up. A water loss audit is coming up. Now, that's something we can have AIM do for us free.
The Alliance.
The Lions. That's something we need to get Brian's to give them, or do you send them something, or do they
Brian will need to contact them.
I will get hold of Brian, let him know that the water loss audit's coming up and he needs to talk to Alliance and get that done. That saves us a few bucks.
5,000.
State Road 68 Force Main. Been in contact with Brian, NDOT's contracting design engineer regarding Force Main. Requirements have been given to the engineer to ensure the relocation is performed at demand, which does not expose the town for future issues. I'm aware that they are in contact with NDOT that work through. on the directions. There was a question just to make sure of not crossing lines and how they're going to cap them off, but that's all being worked on. And Brian can give us an update on that next meeting. Oh, God. Yeah, the sewer works bond ordinance. And this will be the first reading. If we have unanimous consent, then we're gonna turn around and do a second reading and see if we can get consent to move forward with that. If so, then we will start that process and Lori will get it advertised correctly. Ordinance number 2026-3, an ordinance authorizing the acquisition.
Sorry, you actually have to make a motion on the unanimous. The one above.
Okay, so I would ask for a motion for unanimous consent to approve ordinance, or read ordinance 2026-3 to be considered.
Make that motion.
I'll second that.
All in favor? Aye. Unanimous. Now, for the reading, ordinance number 2026-3. We just read the top paragraph.
Yeah.
An ordinance authorizing the acquisition, construction, installation, and equipping by the town of Lynnville, Indiana, certain improvements and extensions to the town's sewage works, the issuance and sale of revenue bonds to provide funds for the payment of the costs thereof, the issuance and sale of bond anticipation notes in anticipation of the issuance and sale of such bonds, and the collection, segregation, and distribution of the revenues of such sewage works and other related matters. If to move forward with that, we would need a motion to accept the ordinance 2026-3.
So moved.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So that motion is passed and they can get going on working on some of those details. Emergency text system, you anywhere with that?
We got one more meeting on
Okay.
Friday.
Next meeting we'll be ready to discuss. Possible purchase of property. We've had that discussion. Told to move forward with it. We've done the legal deeds with it. We've got an agreement in place that the attorney has written up and the seller has agreed to the terms. I would just need authorization from council so I can sign it on behalf of the town of Lynnville. If we want to move forward with that purchase.
I make a motion to give David authorization for signing of the agreement.
I will second that.
Made, seconded, all in favor? Aye. That's been passed. Easter event, profit and loss report. Easter egg hunt, looks like negative.
Mhm.
We spent.
It just,
It's always been.
yeah, it's what you spent.
We spent $183.70 on putting on an Easter egg hunt. No donations were obtained, so we ended up having a loss on paper.
Yeah, I was gonna say, we didn't really.
It's a community getting a paper loss. Breakfast with the Easter Bunny, we showed a profit of $536.95. We brought in $1,008.87, and we had expenses of $471.92. Any questions about that? Okay, next meeting is Monday, May 4th, due to our primary elections. With no meeting date change for National Night Out. It is October 6th, 2026. Is that being confirmed now?
Okay.
Yes, been?
Mhm.
Okay. Approval of event flyers for upcoming
Oh.
community events.
Are you gonna move it to Monday or Wednesday?
Monday myself.
Monday?
That's okay with you guys?
Which
Just
one?
for the October,
Okay.
to go October the 5th.
Okay,
Move to October 5th?
if that's okay with, I guess, Adam, because he's the manager to him.
No,
Is
he,
No,
he
he's,
has the national out on October the 6th. And
Okay.
we don't ever get to attend because
Oh, we're changing our
Yeah,
meeting
we're
here.
changing our meeting
That's a
because
clarification. Okay, I got
that is the October National Night Out Day.
Do we ever set a calendar date for Halloween? So, you don't,
I'm pretty sure we did.
okay. It's probably been my job.
I'd have to check though, I don't know.
We can look for the church. Approval of event flyers.
Know that you've already seen some of mine that have been out there. The new one would be the disc golf. I haven't released it yet. And then the other one on the Makers Market, that's actually not going to be a flyer to be distributed, but that would be on the Facebook page for promotion.
I thought they were wonderful.
They do look good.
We're like that.
That's what it does.
You know, all we gotta do is make sure that the basic.
I know.
Thing on it, doesn't.
And that they spell Lynnville right too. So sometimes that doesn't happen.
That. So are we good to go approving of the flyers?
I think the only one that, actually, the bench dedication and disc golf event will get sent through the school board for approval to be distributed to the schools. Those two will. And so far, the hanging basket fundraiser is at about, I think, 39 baskets. So,
We need a motion to approve those, or
Yes.
is that just something that we approve?
Well, it's something, yeah, just go ahead.
I'll entertain the motion. Just make Lori happy.
I make that motion. I'll second it.
Motion's been made, and seconded to approve the event flyers as presented. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Bingo. What are the next steps? Let me ask you a question. We had,
At the last meeting, we were waiting for,
So you guys, we've got the qualification letter. I mean, you're good to go. The only thing is, if you're going over $2,500, you have to get a different license. Also, if you're collectively going over, I think it's 7,500 for the calendar year, you have to get a different license. If you're doing multiple events, we have to reach out to the gaming commission. But as of like to just do your bingo night here, you're good
so
to go.
we are good to go. That is a 501c3 event, correct? So that board will have to meet and make a decision and pick out a date and whatever else they're going to want to do for it. And then they will bring it back to council, just to inform us. And then we'll see what we can do about the building and space and all that. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's in the
Bank account, of course, for that.
Yeah, so you have to establish.
Yeah.
501c3
So,
account
yeah,
for the bank.
so officially bingo is now in the 501c3 bailiwicks. They're off and running with it. Okay, community center storage. Kayla's having some issues again, getting tables and chairs in and out of the trailer. They got stuck the other day. I had to go down with a forklift and lift them up to get them out. As they roll out, she's on the front end of that. Those tables come down that ramp pretty quick. Well, that's could be a little bit of an issue too. She suggested going out and buying a metal ramp pipe that fits in that gap hole.
Yeah.
I don't know what they cost. I don't know where we get them. I don't know anything about them. I don't know if that's going to help in her applications or not.
It does. Actually, I think I sent them to you guys after we had this original discussion. Jeff picked them out for me, when I showed him the trailer. And I'll look them up again. It's about $400. It fits in the gap for the hinge, but it also fits, at the bottom, because he said if we do not, buy the piece that goes on the bottom, he said you were going to tear the bottom of that trailer up. And so, I will look that up again.
Yeah,
And-
please do.
And so I think it's gonna run somewhere between 400 and 450 for both pieces. They're sold as a set.
Okay. And we are we are also tearing the floor up inside the trailer, just FYI,
Okay.
due to the weight, I guess, moving things in and out. I don't know. So if we're gonna continue with the trailers usage, I don't see any other alternatives at this point. Then what I would like to do is go ahead and approve a purchase up to $500 for the ramps.
Mhm.
If anyone would want to make a motion to do that, and then, of
Are-
course, that would come out of the community center budget.
But in now, if you alter the floor, it could affect the gap transition. So we'll need to look at that if you're saying we're tearing the floor up, you don't
We're not,
reinforce it.
yeah, we're not, there's dents and things in that floor,
Oh, okay,
scratches, dents.
okay,
We're not gonna pull that plywood up
okay,
or put new plywood on,
Okay.
at least at this.
okay. No, I think, that would be a good idea.
I'd entertain a motion for that,
I'll make that motion.
And I'll second it.
and it's up to $500,
Okay.
and Rachel will supply us with the information, which we will then get to Kayla and just let her put her initials on it, so she feels part of the decisions.
Mhm.
And then we'll get that to Megan so they can get aboard. And those funds will be coming out of the community center. Okay. Now, issue to the community center trailer, that's the same thing,
Thought it was, but you put it on there twice, so.
probably different days. Different days. Community center drainage has come up again. Had a request to go ahead and put a bunch of rock down back in there, and I don't think we want to do that. I want to just leave it the way it is until we actually go in and address it by ditching it and all that. So at this point, I'm not wanting to do anything, but it's up to the council. Tell them that we've talked about it and we're going to still hold it. Dumpster fence at the fire department. We're still having issues. I guess we're not having issues. The fence has been down for about 3 months.
About 9.
9 months. No one has bothered to file a claim, from what I understand, with the trash company, so nothing's happened. 9 months is probably getting far out to even try to submit a claim at this point. If we want to move forward with replacing that, we need to figure out who needs to pay for it. And then we also need to come up with something that's a little bit more sturdy, or at least installed correctly, of a vinyl fence, if that's what we choose to do, so it doesn't blow out and has the same problems at the other.
Well, the community center paid for the first fence. And and I have talked to Michael with the fire department about this because they, had been dragging their feet on contacting the trash company, about the damages to it. And I simply stated, well, the fire department can buy the next fence, and then if you guys recoup your damages from the trash company, then that's great. Then you recoup the damages. Um, and as far as the type of fence, I feel like I mean, if you go to most commercial businesses, they have fences around their dumpster. I think we just need to look at the different types that are out there.
The easiest kind, put up some chain link fence around and put a tarp within it, strips.
Yeah, that's great. I mean,
And
that's fine. I don't have a problem
that's
with that.
pretty inexpensive, and they can dig that down into the area without causing a whole lot of trouble.
I don't have any problem with it.
Then we're gonna have the issue with opening and closing the gate if we put a gate on it, and I don't even know if you wanna put a gate on it. That's another question. Someone's gonna need to design it.
And that's a point where they were talking about before, that's why the trash company had poured up.
Cause they
Supposedly
get
poured up.
in and out, they wouldn't close the gates and the gate would catch and then the wind would catch it and then a twister, blah, blah, blah. I see a lot of those without gates. I see a lot of them with gates. I don't have a need for a gate other than if we're gonna try to lock it up and prevent people from throwing their trash in there, but
No, I don't think that's an issue. I mean, I don't think that is an issue of other people using it either.
okay, so do we need to talk to the fire department and get their,
Yeah,
okay, Mike, I'm gonna ask you a question. You may not know the answer. Chris was going to try to set up a meeting with the fire department for a contract. Do you know anything about that?
No,
Because we can bring that up at the same time.
set a meeting with him, the fire department, or with
Me,
you
him,
and,
me,
okay.
him, and Michael, to discuss the fire department contract, and get that straightened out.
We need an updated fire territory contract. What it's for.
And while we're doing that, we can touch on the fence and the trash pickup and try to get that done. Okay, does the council have any feelings, qualms, recommendations? Chain link's okay with you guys?
I like
They-
it. It's got a little slot
If
in
they
it.
want, if they want to build a
Yeah.
brick one, we don't care. If they want to pay for it. Okay. Should we ask them to have a gate on the front of it? Or just have it a three-sided structure?
I would do just a three-sided, and that way if we find out people are abusing it, they can always add it.
We can add a gate. Okay, I'll make sure I mention that. Concrete repair at the fire department. We were down at the fire department I guess they're open house or somebody open house. And noticed a bunch of concrete that's been broke and not done anything good. I know we had a discussion at one of our earlier council meetings. And the person from the fire department said, well, I'm kind of a jack of all trades on your concrete guy. I can get this fixed for you. Nothing's happened. Do we push them to get that fixed? Do we, it's their side. It'd be their budgets, or do we have it fixed and tell them how much we're gonna charge them? I haven't got the contract with them, so I don't know if we can do that or not. Another question you want me to talk to Michael about?
You know, when it was brought up, it was in the winter, and we understood that. I would probably get an estimate and show it to them and give them a chance to either fix it or we'll have it done.
And a part of it's inside their bag, if I remember right, so we don't have access to that.
No, it's not. It's going down that slot where they drive out.
I thought we found a divot inside the bay also under.
Oh, he may have, I don't know. This was outside in the parking lot. And it was where all four of them come together. It needs to be repaired.
If Doris knows what she's talking about here, so I'm going to meet Doris out there one day, so she can point it out to me. And then we will decide who's gonna go out and get some estimates for it.
Okay.
It can be me, it can be you.
Because I
That's
took
pretty
pictures
simple.
of it.
'Cause, we'll probably just get, well, doesn't matter. Depending on what we think the cost is, it will depend on how many estimates we're gonna have to get. We'll probably try for 3. Okay, removal of items behind the fire department. And some of those items is the old fence. It's still around, the vinyl fencing. They need to basically haul that off, dispose it, get it out of sight.
There's kind of a lot of stuff back there right now. I think it needs to not be.
I will make a point, so you're not stuck with me all the time. I can be the bad guy. And I'm gonna ask him to clean that up. I might get the same place that I've got with something else with them. But, we will move with that. Oh, speaking of that, what date is the property on West Second Street to be cleaned to satisfy ordinance violation? That is one that you sent out a letter. Do
Okay,
you have a date on that letter when it was sent?
I'd have to look back at what property that is, and I don't have it in front of me, but I can,
It's West Second Street.
Okay.
It's probably been a week or 2 weeks.
I'm sure they had a minimum of 14 days probably from the date of the letter. So I can look it up this evening, get back to you.
You can provide that to me and then let me know what our next steps are.
It was a first letter, is that where we're at?
Yeah.
So the next letter would be the citation letter. Basically initiating fines.
If we've now gone past the date, would council like to move on with the citation letter? And if so, we need to have that in the motion.
Yeah, I think that would probably, yes, I think when we're moving for actually finding properties, we should get that approved by council.
I'd entertain a motion saying if the property hasn't been cleaned up by the initial letters date, the council is authorizing legal files the second letter for fines and send that out immediately, or send that out after the date.
I will make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Hopefully we can get that cleaned up. We also, FYI, Mike, I've also had a complaint now about the back of that. I've taken a couple of pictures from the bank. Okay. Because I don't know, since we only told them the front porch, then we'll probably have to come out with another letter if you want to try to enforce the back. I would assume.
Right. Yeah, I mean, because that's the only nuisance we've.
Yeah. And then they've also got cars and things parked on other people's property now. Because the library has some property down there, and there's a van there. There's bank's property, unless those entities have gotten rid of that. Bank owns all that property down in there, the library owns that.
They
that
did.
property down
They
there.
got rid of some of it, but I think they still have some down there too.
So they've got items, they're trespassing.
Okay.
On some things. And now, to take it one more step, there's now a camper out there. And I guess they're staying somewhat in it. May just be used for weekends, maybe party. I don't think we have an ordinance about setting up a camper in your own yard. You're allowed to do that, I would assume.
I don't think that's any different than storing a camper on your property. I mean, I think I've had this discussion before that some of us that have campers leave our campers plugged in 24/7.
Yes.
Even
Yes.
doesn't mean we're in them. It just means that we keep them hooked up for the purpose of they stay fresh.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
So I don't, and from what my discussions with the county, when it comes to someone living in the camper, you do have to have proof they are living in the camper. But I don't necessarily think that's the case here. I think it's just hanging out in the backyard.
I agree with you. I think that,
Yeah.
that's all it is. Just a fun place to be outside. I don't have a problem other than I'm just mentioning it because it's there.
Yeah, sometimes when kids get older, you know, they don't go to come out for a weekend with their buddies out
So at
there.
this point, we won't say anything about that. Right?
No.
Okay. Thank you for the clarification. Ordinance violation request. And that's what, Marshall talked about. And we're going to send out a letter posting of ordinance violations and signage on properties. We've had some information going back and forth. Are we ready to move forward with creating a sign that can be put into yards rather quickly? And if so, is that a town marshal? Is that whoever on council or clerk treasurer or whoever sees it
I
can
mean,
do
and an
it?
employee.
Yeah.
Essentially a town employee.
A town employee, we're all under that.
So they would be okay if town employee to go ahead and stick it.
If it's approved by council, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
So that we still need to know what's going on. So they just don't go to my house and pop one down. But the sign will say something like over 6 inches of grass, right? Or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the one that Newburgh had.
Yeah, I like that one too. And then was there a phone number on there on the sign? I can't remember. If there is, I think we would need to specify what number is going on the sign.
That would be good.
And knowing our people, what do we do when they pick the sign up and throw it away? We're gonna eat some call. I'm just pointing that out up front. If you know how people are, they're gonna get mad, they're gonna see it, they're gonna go out there and they go, I'm not gonna do that, they're gonna throw it away. But the cost of the sign has just disappeared. We can't bill that, I don't believe, to the property owner, because we'd have to prove the property owner did.
Right.
I'm just throwing it out.
Yeah, but
It's gonna
but
be,
if you
it's
don't,
gonna be,
right.
it's gonna be a cost.
Yeah, it'll be a
Problem.
cost.
Yeah.
You might not be able to recoup, but without it, you know, they'll just continue on and you won't ever be able to submit any fines, so.
So in that case, we would probably want to create signs that aren't metal, that aren't real expensive, you know, probably have to be better than just the paper, because that can blow and rip, get wet. But
I assume they would just be like the vinyl yard signs,
Yeah.
just the vinyl yard sign.
do we have a motion to move forward on the creation of that sign pending final approval of town council?
I'll make that motion.
No, second that one.
Motion's been made second, all in favor? Aye.
It does have their phone number on it. I just sent it to you guys.
Okay.
We have an idea of who makes those signs.
I know Signs by Susie does. They were closed when I tried to contact them the other day. That's in Gibson County. I'll get a price on that and see.
Have you got time to follow up on it? I know you're
Okay, who's paying, or, I mean, what budget is this coming out of?
in town. It would actually the money go to utilities,
Utilities?
right? Be that employee, or it's, they're gonna be the one that goes and mow it. Or just or does the town pay for some of the mowing?
Have we established a actual dollar amount with the fine? That if our employee is or we our employee taking care of the mowing, when we get if we were to get to that part, or are we going to contract a service to mow it? I didn't know where we were at with that, and if our employee is, what are we going to charge? You know, some towns will charge $100 an hour.
Hmm.
That's actually, I think, the going rate.
And I think that's what we would do. Personally, I don't wanna bring a third vendor
Right.
in and have to fit it into their schedule to get over there. We can go take care of it and invoice them immediately. And then that invoice is coming from the town. If it's not paid, we'll put a lien on the property.
Does that fit within the ordinance? Michael,
Yes.
for us to establish a $100 an hour fine if, or $100 an hour if we have to clean the property ourselves and then build them?
I would have to look at what if there are statutory caps on the amount you can build, but I would think that's a reasonable, rate for,
I move forward with this signage saying something to that effect,
Um,
but we're still gonna have to bring it back in for final.
yeah, I was gonna say, when we talked about it before, it was like your first offense was this much, your second offense, like it went up for the more times you did it within 12 months. I mean, just might be an idea.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And we
that's
did
typically,
talk about that because
they
$100
typically
might-
escalate, yeah.
Right.
The person might say, hey, that's a bargain.
Yeah.
Well, that was the
That's
reason I
definitely
said
for new
$100 an
places.
hour, because
Mhm.
we don't want to be the lawn service.
So, yeah, I would.
That's right. We should do by the hour.
I feel like because the yard might vary in size and
Exactly.
so I feel like it should be in by hour rate.
And then if they violate it the second time, it goes up.
With a minimum of 1 hour.
With a minimum of 1 hour, yeah.
So does this need to be created?
Huh?
I missed that. Is this something that needs to be created? Or-
Create,
Okay,
to
Rachel's
try to
gonna
get some idea of the cost.
create. Okay,
Then we pass to go ahead and do that part.
Okay.
Then once we get that, we make a motion to formalize and pass it with the rates and the staff to establish it.
got it.
And do we still need a form letter to go out with those as well?
The form letter has to go out and the sign.
Yeah, I have,
Okay.
I
You
have
got
it in
one.
there. Yeah.
Okay. And David, I did look and we're past the date on the West Second Street, so we can proceed. That's
Proceed, backdate the fines. I think most of it. Or you can put some at the end of this week, your fines are be up to.
okay. We'll certainly send the letters of council to review and approve the exact verbiage.
There's already a couple properties that people have complained on. That's the
Okay.
reason that.
Okay. Or, ordinance violation request, right?
It's just-
For items left in property, that was just talking to the gentleman, the town marshals talked about. We have ordinance violations already that we can refer to if we need to. Posting of ordinance violations and signage on properties, and that's back to that one. Golly, I actually said some things a couple times. Or I'll be back again. So we're working on that. Upcoming lease renewals for park properties.
I talked to Chris today and the form that I have, he said, go ahead with it. It's not the actual lease, but anybody going forward, once you guys do the new lease, it'll go to that. But for the lease renewals right now, we're gonna stick to what we have. And
Well, they stay the same rates, correct?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
They stay the same rates.
Yeah.
And you talked with Chris, so
Mhm.
keep council informed if there's anything going on with council.
Jeez.
Status of notice to park leasing.
It is subject to be not renewed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fine.
That is what.
We actually talked about, I just didn't understand what it said. Okay, so what we talked about is on the first page, there's a little area that if we've had problems with anything in the past, I add it to there, the section of the lease, and it says, pay attention to this.
You've got buildings, you've got cars that are not registered, not running, excessive junk.
It has to be in the lease. I've got to put like the sections of the lease
Okay.
in that section. If you want something else, that'll be another letter. But on the lease renew, I mean, I could add something to it and just put it out as a different.
I mean, that's
sheet.
all part of the original lease agreement.
Is it okay? I don't remember that part being in the lease. I'll just have to look up the sections.
Just make sure the specificity of what we're trying to do is in.
Okay.
We can't enforce anything that's not in the lease, but we can
Yeah.
certainly
Right.
bring it up.
Yeah.
I didn't remember that part. I don't remember what part that's in. I'll have to look that up.
Okay. And Lori Bailey with dock identification practices. I know we've been talking about that also. I don't know if we've ever done anything to show the address and the lot number and then have the names on
Many
it.
years ago, it was, you had to have, if you own that dock, that you had to have your address on that dock.
The part of the lease agreement.
No.
Should it be added to the lease agreement?
Figured as soon as they got the 911, then we could start on that one. The 911 addresses, I mean, just do one thing at a time, so it's not overwhelming.
Want them to know that if they're going to renew, this is now part of what they're gonna have to do if they got a dock.
I mean, that could be sent out in the lease, renewal.
It's a-
Just,
yeah,
yeah, just a
that's
simple,
all.
nothing, I mean, nothing just fancy, just if
It's coming.
you have a dog, please make sure your address is on it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So before, when you guys talked about it, you wanted it on the roadside and the water side.
Yes.
Roadside and water side.
Cintas contract, we kind of discussed, we've got the contract the way I understand it, but it doesn't specify out individual items. It's very difficult to read. Rachel's tried contacting Cintas and has not gotten any response.
What is it that you're looking for exactly?
For instance, the flush toilets, how much are
There's
they
like
charged? We don't know.
I don't know.
That's on the
That's
bill.
not
Something,
in
there's
the
something
original
that said
contract.
was free that.
And there's
might
like
not be.
amendments added to the original contract, but there's like a bunch of abbreviated words and you can't understand. I have no idea what they mean. So looking at trying to get a true breakdown of what everything's costing, you had stated previously that like town hall is free of charge, but
The two of the rugs.
yeah, that doesn't, you stated previously the rugs and the bathroom, the
Yeah.
house and everything is free of charge, but the contract doesn't reflect that, so I'm just trying to make heads or tails of it so we can make a educated decision on what we're keeping, what we'll get rid of. So that's what I'm looking for.
Do you have the bill? Is that what you're looking at? Or were you looking at just that paperwork?
I was just looking at the paperwork you supplied from the last meeting.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have a
And
bill.
that was what I emailed them about, but they have not responded to an email.
Can
So
you provide her with a copy of last month's bill? And that will show.
I don't know how it's, broken down there, so.
Yes.
That's still not what you want, then we'll try to figure it out.
Oh, what's the
I mean, I
problem
like
with
the
every-
flush toilets.
What's the problem
But-
with every department just getting what they need?
Right.
That's what
They,
they're trying to
yeah,
do.
that's, we don't buy any supplies anymore. Well, the only thing that we got are the mechanic. But nobody buys any supplies anymore.
So basically, they're shut off.
I mean, they're coming in the park. If they need some, they're putting it into their inventory down there and then they're billing us. But the park may not need
Yeah,
everything put in there that they're billing us for.
The park, I know for a fact, I
That's
talked to Kate,
that's
is
been an issue.
stockpiled. It is
Yeah, there
stockpiled.
hasn't been anything from the park, any supplies bought from the park for months, since last fall.
But it's coming out of the park's accounts. That's just it. You know, the community center's paying for Centos, the park's paying for Centos, town hall's paying for Centos out of their accounts. And I'm just trying to figure out what's being paid out of what.
Yeah.
What are they actually receiving?
Okay.
That's.
Yeah,
I was
I was telling her that they haven't gotten any supplies. The park hasn't gotten any supplies.
The park hasn't got any supplies for 3 months and they shouldn't be billed anything for the last 3 months.
And I mean,
Not for supplies, but for the equipment, the
no.
rental of the equipment.
And the way I read the contract, you don't get charged for the equipment part. That's the reason I'm like
That's why you're getting
confused
supplies. That's
Yeah.
the way I understood it.
too. So I'm like, I don't really understand what is happening now.
And we may just need to simply set up a meeting with Centos and make them come in here.
Mhm.
But if you provide a copy of the last bill,
We'll start with that. That would
we'll
be great.
start there. Same thing with Mainstream. I know we tried to get it all done. We couldn't find anything. We're getting another company. Are they third yet? They're third now. aren't they?
I don't think they're.
No.
No.
Okay. Well, we want to get I believe we want to get ourselves in a position to quote this out. But in the meantime, if we're being overcharged $100 a month, I don't want to wait a year before I can quote it. I want to get on them and start yelling again. So I will undertake Mainstream.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. I've got a couple of guys' names up in Indy now.
Okay, so,
And I will probably come back and want last month's copy.
okay, you want invoices for Mainstream, you want invoices for Centos.
Well, you give David invoices for Mainstream, for the park too, because the park does have another option.
yes, they do.
So,
Are they separated now?
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I want them for everybody
okay.
because I want to, that word is bundle. If we
Okay.
bundle them all together
Okay.
and get a better price, I want to do it.
Right.
The 1882s, we may be getting charged too much because that's a single standalone building. Yet if they're giving me 25 other services in town, they ought to discount that one too. So I want copies of the bills for anybody that Mainstream's going to. I'll say AT&T also, but that's a headache and I don't want to go down that road yet. We looked at that last year and we actually saved several $100s a month by redoing that, if I remember.
Yeah, you took off a bunch of stuff that we weren't needing, you got stuff bundled. You redid pretty much the whole contract on that one.
After Mainstream, I may attack AT&T. Okay. That's town. There's been numerous requests to put together all charges to the town in the format will show where things are going. I know you're not understanding what I'm trying to say.
Mm-mm.
We're trying to get to the point that we know we use Cintas again. Here's Cintas bill of X. Everything adds up to X. Well, what part of X goes to the park? What part of X goes to the 1882? What part of it goes? We're trying to do that for everything. So we got a better idea.
Trying to figure out what funds are paying for what. We approve the bill in the register, but we don't always know what funds they're coming out of. That's all.
What was it?
Any comment later?
Oh, no, I was trying to figure out how, like, I was trying to figure out a form.
So you kind of know what
I think I know what you're talking about now. Yeah. Yeah, no, I was,
I mean, I think it's just a matter of adding another column or whatever. And it might be too that, you're gonna split a bill out of, more than
Mhm.
one fund.
Yeah.
And just, it might be that so we can designate, or you can designate what fund you think it might come out of, or multiple.
I was actually just looking because the funds, I named them on this, but on all the paperwork, it's their numbers, and I don't think I can, but I can give you tell you what the numbers are.
Okay. Chilled drink storage. We've got drinks sitting back in the back room. Um, the question is there any other space that they can be moved to get them out of that back room? I don't see the furnace room as a alternative, because we just got that cleaned up. We got boxes, electrical things back there that we got to pass to. So if we're gonna move them, we're gonna have to move them to probably an off-site storage, be it the utilities, be it the swim beach,
Is there like a reason that we're holding on to all of them? I'm like,
I don't
it
understand.
takes a while to get rid of them.
I don't understand why don't we, when we're doing the little sacks, stick a couple in each sack?
We do.
We haven't.
I haven't.
Yeah.
Oh,
No,
we do.
they've not been in any stock rotation I've been in.
Yeah.
Oh.
When I did the Sundays here, I had them out on the table.
Mm-hmm.
So I
Yeah.
tried to move them that way. We just don't move. When we were doing the box out here, they were moving.
Mm-hmm.
So is everything else.
Yes.
Yeah. Since we started doing the bags that we do in here, we always put several. We've gotten rid of a lot, but we always put 4 or 5 at least per bag.
And if we need to, we can just ask them not to give us drinks. For a
Yeah,
couple of
we
months.
can.
Yeah.
If that would help, then that can get rid of it.
I know at the Easter egg, we set out 175 of them, and if I had more, there'd have been more taken.
Even to the bike, the motorcycle race or the disc golf thing, like free, if you need to get rid of some
For the what?
Bike race.
motorcycle race.
And it is getting to be summer, and the employees drink drink a lot of them.
Yeah.
They're just not for sale.
Yeah, exactly. Just give them away. We give them to little kids in the park.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're going to try to address that for them. Is that okay? 2026 council member budgeting seminar. I have May 8th.
Yes, and there are some different options. There is the option which is $50 per person if you do it on that date, or it's $25 per person post-event recording. Address.
Is that going over the gateway budgeting format or anybody's or
It says the AIM Council Members Seminar is a half-day virtual workshop led by Baker Tilly. It is tailored for council members and includes an overview of municipal finance, revenue sources, budgeting best practice, and legislative recap.
would we gain any knowledge by listening to it?
I can't answer that because we are being recorded. But you should actually, I think you should always.
Do you know what the time of the day is? Because if it's a half a day, that's actually the time of the day matters to me. It'll, half a day will take place, but
Yeah, it does not.
Usually they're early in the morning.
if it's in the morning, I can do it, but it's in the afternoon, I cannot.
So do you want to do the post recording?
I would prefer to,
Or do it?
I mean, if it means saving $25, I'll do post recording, then it really won't matter what day it is.
Yeah, because I have
That is
that
what
question
it is.
anyways. I'll be the.
So you'll do the post, you'll do the post?
Mhm.
Okay,
Okay.
got it, and I will get those ordered.
Okay.
And I'll just have them sent to your emails.
Okay.
Mike, you got any town attorney?
The only thing that wasn't mentioned so far today is the rainy lease out of the park. The predecessor passed away and the estate's taken over it. We've had very little luck contacting our estate attorney. I think at this point, we are thinking about sending a notice of termination, just general sort of a formal letter from us to the attorney and also to his heir, Derek. Basically just saying, you know, the lease terminated automatically upon death. All the properties, you know, technically the town could consider it abandoned and move it themselves. Hopefully it doesn't come to that. We'll give them time to respond to our letter.
I think previously, didn't we give a 60-day notice that, at that point, that they had 60 days to remove the property?
Right. Yeah, I think this is basically just another follow-up final notice, probably give them 10, 20 days. And then at that point, I think in the letter, we'll also say the property is considered abandoned at this point. And so if you don't, you know, collect it, the town may do as it pleases with the property. It's your property at this point.
Is the town in a position to bill them back?
Yes, I mean, that is what the lease says. You can do that. Now, the collection process, could potentially be difficult. That's why ideally, because it would be the estate that's liable, not the debtor.
Yeah.
Individually. So collecting may be relatively difficult. That's why ideally you would get them to move it.
I just think if there's a dollar number that they might think that they're liable.
Yeah. Oh, well, we will certainly say that, you know, fines will be billed to you, and they will. The question is how effective that will be.
Fines are billed to the estate, is that what you said?
Yeah, I mean, that will be the letter. Yeah.
Bills to. Fine.
Okay. Lori, you have
Okay.
anything other than your dates that you got marked in?
No, and Rachel, I did get all of those. I think that I've got all of those events that you.
I think you did a pretty good job. It might fluctuate a little bit,
Okay.
but yeah, it looks
Oh,
like they're all
there.
Well, it's a little too early for that one. Just to illustrate.
You have anything?
Letter.
Doris, anything still?
I mean, it's,
I'm going to be.
they're administering this thing right now in the court system, and we built to the state of it.
Around American Legion. The question for Lori is, if I go to the Legion to get the flags, do you want me to go ahead and pay and just get reimbursed, or you want me to take a card and pay for
It's fine. Last time they just billed us. They sent us an invoice
them? Okay.
and I just send them a check.
Okay.
That's what we usually do is send them a check.
Okay, that's all I needed to know on that one. The other thing was the flags behind for the veterans wall here. We need to buy new ones. What budget does that come out of?
I don't know, but we have tons of them back there.
We already have.
Yeah, we have
Okay.
we have all kinds of flags back there. We have American, Indiana. We have all the flags.
Okay, we were just gonna make sure we had all.
Look new from death.
Yes,
Yeah.
there's already a work order in for that for them to switch them out.
And one other thing,
for
was a-
Memorial Day or whatever.
some veterans that put the big sign, they made a sign that anybody in the town of Lynnville that served at any service. And it used to hang at the library, and then we took it down to the community center. Does anybody know where that sign is? Because there's a lot of people's names on there whose great grandkids now used to look at that sign. And when they took it down at the community center, I have no idea where it's at. Have you seen it? I don't.
I assume that it went to
That's several years ago.
Yeah. 1882, and then when we cleaned out 1882, I suggested that we look where we put everything in storage from 1882.
We'd like to find that because that is part of our history. That's on there. So that otherwise that's all I.
And all I've got is I'm going to hand you the list of priorities as they stood before, just so you got them. And we can move it up and move it down, the budgeting and adding to it, if anybody wants to add things to it. This was just a general one done back in February. We talked about monies and priorities and new projects, so just a reminder. Other than that, I will entertain a motion for adjournment. All in favor? Aye. Meeting's adjourned. It passes unanimously. Meeting adjourned at 7:26.
Really? That's the exact same time as
Why did it that?
last meeting is 7:26.
Tell us when all sounds.